What will you do if your partner tests positive to coronavirus?
So it will be a surprising to me.
I have to ensure he isolates himself so that I won't contact it as well. He has to isolate himself. That's just the thing.
For me, I don't believe that sickness. Do you know why? I only hear 110, 120. Nobody has ever died. Only one person that die. So some country you will see, they will say 30 dead, 40, 50. This Nigeria only one.
They are kidnapping all around 9,000.
I will not very happy.
My name is Damlaria. Online, you're watching Legit TV.
Coronavirus, which is also known as COVID-19, has claimed lots of lives in different parts of the world. However, many are scared that they may lose their partners or their loved ones to this deadly virus. But the government is trying all they can to curb this deadly virus in the country. On today's episode of Street Gist, we are here to ask Nigerians, what will you do if your partner tests positive to coronavirus? I'm Dolakwa Modeni and you're watching Legit TV.
The first thing is to approach the medical expert. Understand? I approach them, I call their number, tell them what's happening. So I'll now take her there for major precaution. Yeah.
But do you believe that this virus is real? Because we still have people saying that it is not true, that it is not in Nigeria.
This is Nigeria, and what do you expect? The level of illiterate is higher than the literate, so we expect that it's real, very, very real.
Like we are aware in other countries, the government is giving an amount of money to its citizens. Do you think the Nigerian government should also replicate this?
Well, no, they can do it, but the problem is just that how would they do it? So somebody said same thing on TV, I think 3 days ago, that they are planning to pay 8,500, that maybe through BVN it will be possible. So if they can do such, it's okay, we love it.
But do you believe Nigerians will obey the 14 days shutdown by Mr. President?
They will not obey. But what government can do is to use drastic measure. You understand? Like we learned in Russia, they allow lions in the street. I don't know if it is true. Nigeria can just make sure they allow these military guys to come on the street. Anybody that I find outside should be dealt with. So that by this they will comply with the rules.
So how about those who feed from hand to mouth on a daily basis? How do you think this set of people are going to cope with this virus?
That's the problem. Those people that feed hand to mouth on daily basis, if government can give them this amount, so they say. Somebody say they want to be doing it maybe weekly. She understand. If that is done, it will be okay.
Oh, wow. I have to ensure he isolates himself so that I won't contact it as well. He has to isolate himself. That's just the thing.
You won't be by his side during this time?
Of course I'll be there, but I have to maintain the distance. I mean, he has to isolate himself. Then probably from a distance I will check on him, wave to him, see how he's until he feels better. So that's what I'll do.
Alright, so how about taking him to the nearest isolation center? Would you do that?
Of course I will do that. I will call the emergency lines that's been displayed on TV. Then I will ensure he gets the proper help he needs.
Alright, so in what ways are you protecting yourself and your family against this virus?
Right now we have these sanitizers in small bottles that we can carry around. We have at home. I have a face mask. I also have gloves in my van. And we are trying as much as possible not to go out. If not because it's really important for me to be outside now. I'm supposed to stay at home.
Right, so for those that feed hand to mouth, who don't have enough money to stock their homes, do you think this 14 days isolation period as set by the president is going to work?
I think they said they have food packages that would last families for 2 weeks, I think. So only if it can be distributed very well and ensure it gets, because this is the only way we can help ourselves. Let's be sincere. If we tell them, okay, continue working so that you feed yourself, health is even more important. It's only those who are alive that will be able to feed or even eat. So what if we don't have the good health to even eat the food you're being given? So I think if the government can send out the food packages and ensure it gets to those that really need it, not the leaders at the top that don't even need it. So I think everybody should be fine.
So we are aware that in other countries, the government is giving an amount of money to its citizens. Do you think Nigerians should also replicate the same?
Of course, we're supposed to get the same, but I'm very sure that can never happen in this country.
Why?
I mean, we already know Nigeria. I mean, it can't happen. That's totally impossible. Even if the government promises to do that, it is impossible. So let's just zero our mind. Let's forget it. Let's forget it. Everybody should sort themselves out.
In what ways would you support your partner in this trying time?
I will go to the doctors. The doctors will advise, okay, what we need to do. Then remind her if there are drugs to take, if there is water, if there is anything she has to eat to help heal the process. You just remind her and make sure that you are there to support at that time.
But you know there are isolation centers where this can also be treated.
Yes.
Would you look at taking her to the nearest isolation center?
Yes. If it's to heal the process, yes, I will. The isolation center. I even understand the isolation centers just take in those that are infected. Those that are not infected do not need to go visit to the isolation center. So if it means, but there is also an external way that people outside get to communicate. If that's the way I communicate with her, that will be okay. That will be okay.
All right. So in what ways are you going to protect yourself and your family against this virus during this 14 days lockdown?
Go around with my sanitizer, sanitize before I get to the house, wash. I forgot it. Wash my hands before doing anything in the house. There are a lot of times I do go through media because media also have new ways you have to preventive measures. Just make sure you do all that, then you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
So if your girlfriend, not your wife now, if your girlfriend tests positive, would you run away or would you stay with her?
My girlfriend when I have a wife or if my wife has it?
Let's just say your girlfriend, not your wife.
Okay, that's if I was not married.
If you are not married, okay. Yes. Test positive. Would you run away and leave her to the fate of a family to treat her, or would you stand by her?
That's one way you show you love the person you're with. Stay, support. Wow, if you hear even she's HIV, if she has Ebola, whatever it is, you stay and you support. Whichever way, that's how I see life. Because one day, at the end of it, you might be the one that needs that kind of support. And if everyone leaves you, I mean, what's there? There is nothing wrong in you showing support to the one you love. Yeah, as you say, she is your girlfriend. And she's somebody that you tend to stay, even though if it's not somebody you tend to stay the rest of your life with, but do show some support because you might be the one to need it later. Yes.
Like we know in other countries, the government are giving an amount of money to the citizens to keep themselves safe. Do you think Nigeria should, replicate this?
It's better we just take care of ourselves and not look out to the government.
So you don't want extra cash?
They don't have such facilities.
What do you mean? How do you mean they don't have?
No accurate database. I saw on the net someone is talking about database. They don't even have data, not to talk of base. They don't have. It's not organized. So if government is coming out to say they're going to do such and such and such, we might wait till after the crisis and nothing will still happen. So it's best you just take care of yourself, be prayerful. In country like this, we depend a lot on God because government is not our God. So a lot of us tend to be very spiritual. We look up for help and we just be okay when you think less. You are better when you think more of you get.
Well, first of all, it will be a surprise thing to me, but I wouldn't have choice other than to stay with him as a brother and take the necessary medical attention to to the coronavirus. So it will be a surprise thing to me, and the best thing I can do is just stay with him and ensure that the necessary medical attention is given to him.
Okay, so what if it is your wife and not your brother?
Wow. To this, I'm short of words, but I don't have a choice. Everything is based on medical attention, but All I will do is ensure she takes the necessary medical attention, and with prayer, it gets up.
By taking proper medical care, what would you do? Would you take her to the nearest isolation center, or what will you do exactly?
Yes, of course, because presently I'm aware that Lagos State now has an isolation center around Onikon. So I think that is the closest isolation center to her. So definitely, I will definitely take her there for the necessary medical care.
So what about the rest of the family, like you and the children? Would you also get yourself tested?
Yeah, of course, because you don't know how she contacted the coronavirus. But I pray we don't get it. You understand? But we need to test ourselves too, to know the status, to know our status, so that we don't spread.
Now let me spin the question.
Okay.
If this person in question is your girlfriend, you are not married, would you keep her from her totally? Will it be a deal breaker for you, or would you continue with the relationship and get her the necessary medical attention? Well,
the appropriate answer to this question is because I'm a Muslim, and from prophetic teachings, we learned that your brother is the one whom you stay with in whenever he or she is in a bad situation. So when you stay with such person in that situation and you're able to get out of he or she out of that situation, such person is your brother. So by this, I believe staying with such person, despite the fact that we are not married, for the fact that she has contacted such disease does not mean I should leave her. You understand? Because even if at the end of the day we don't get married, at least she's still my sister. You understand my point now? So I would definitely stand by her and take care of her and ensure she gets the proper care.
In other countries, the government are giving their citizens cash so that they can get themselves ready. Do you think the Nigerian government should do the same?
Yes,
Like how much per person?
Well, you can't tell, but at least minimum 10,000. You understand? Because last week, when I went to the market to get some stuffs, I overheard some women saying that it is those who have money that would stock food in the house. So what about those who do not have money? So what do you want them to do? So by this, if the government can, take up this and disburse like minimum of 10K to people, I think it to at least assist. You understand? So that's it. So, but presently, at least with the little we have, or with the little cash we have, we've been able to at least stock to some food and some food items, and like I am now, I'm going for work. You understand? So it is I'm only going so I can get more cash. At least as soon as I'm done with it, I'll get to the market and see whatever thing I can buy to have. But if the government can come up with this decision, gave by disbursing like 10K, minimum of 10K to people, so that they could take care of throughout this period, it is a nice idea.